Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Okay, ASFR voice doesn't work so well, but I need more caffeine. Anyway, it's Saturday. It's the Week in Geek. I'm kind of fuzzy this week. Not like physically or anything like that, but just mentally. It's started out. It's been a couple of short weeks for me, and short weeks always throw me off my schedule a little bit. So here we are. It's Saturday, and I'm just kind of like, oh my god, what are we going to talk about? Well, a couple of things popped in this week that I was going to talk about on Tuesday, but they showed up late, so we didn't get to talk about them on Tuesday. So I guess we'll get to talk about them today. And the nice thing is, for all you gamer guys out there and gamer gals, it'll be stuff that will be, well, I don't know if I want to phrase it by saying it's be right up your alley, but some of you will definitely be interested. Some of you will just enjoy it to poke and make fun of. And some of you will, I don't know, probably be deeply interested, in which case, hey, I'm glad I could tell you something. But I do plan on giving you some good information as well as some interesting overviews. And to help me with this today, I have brought on the special services of Mr. Grimm.
Hello.
Hello. Mr. Victor.
Hi.
And just because I wanted it to be something less than a sausage fest today, I brought on the lovely Hominy Ginger.
Now, I don't think you have that information for sure.
No,
But
never
hey.
know.
Well, okay. I mean, that is true. That is true.
It's 2024.
This is true. That's true. It's like the men are men, the women are men. The children are FBI agents.
Small
Now
furry
that-
creatures from Alpha Centauri are real small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri.
Yes. Yes. And
Love it.
got a new person, Lily Elizabeth Madeline Aitha. Hey, how are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, wait a minute. I know you. Hi. It's good to see you. I did not recognize the name. Oh my gosh. We have a bearded Viking back here too.
You forgot the part where birds are actually federal government surveillance drones.
Oh yeah, you're right. Right. Well, first thing on our list today, I got this story too late to hear about it, so I'm actually getting my information secondhand. The only way I found out about it was through Grimm, and then I noticed Raji posted something up about it, and so I got to kind of turn this one over to Grimm. But this is about the about old grognards, or old white grognards, are our problem now.
Yeah. Did you get the screenshot I sent you?
Did you send it in? You sent
I sent it on X.
you sent it on X.
Just to prove that it's a real thing and not being hyperbolic.
Okay.
So Capricorn is the source, and it seems to be a kind of general SF&F sort of convention, not any one single thing. But they have a panel, and someone who's going to be on the panel posted about it on the OSR Facebook groups, looking for feedback, and you can imagine how that went. So the title doesn't look too bad, but the actual content description looks really bad. So ostensibly it's about the old school gaming renaissance and its bad reputation. And then in the description section it says, verbatim, where did that come from? Why is it important to address, and how do we do that? No, really. Lots of people think there are too many straight white older grognards making life difficult for everybody else. How do we deal with that perception, knowing we can't just toss OSR games out? That's not the original text. It's been changed slightly.
Yeah.
To make it a bit more hedgy and weaselly. But yeah, you can imagine why that got people's backs up.
Just let me start this one off by saying that's a bunch of crap to begin with, because, you know, being the oldest guy on this panel at 50, well, I'm not really a straight white older grognard. I'm just a older grognard. I mean, you know,
Slightly curved.
slightly curved, yeah. But in any case, I've never been to a grognard's table, you know, because my friends are older than I am, in their 60s and stuff. They were like original D&D, OD&D players and stuff. They've never had a problem with anybody at their table, of any gender, any race, anything. The only problem we ever had was finding players and keeping players. But you know, when I would play with them, you know, my trans girlfriend would play with us. They did not treat her any different than they treated anybody else. I mean, she was one of the players, and we played. We didn't, you know, they weren't discriminated against. There was no special biases or anything. And I've always found, in particular, you know, like older players who have been around a lot longer and have had more mixed tables at friendly local gaming stores tend to be more welcoming, open, and friendly. So I don't know what this old grognards are making life hard for everybody crap, where that comes from.
They mean disagreement. Let's fucking say it how it is. They mean that old grognards, for the most part, I guess, lean conservative maybe, and they disagree with progressive values, and that's what they're bothered by. Because they don't mean actual like problems at the table, because every time you hear about those, they're just like vague anecdotes. They can never point to anything concrete. It's just like, you know, it's just the culture war, basically. That's what they're referencing. And like Wim said, they changed the text because the text originally basically made it a statement of fact. And now they're like, well, some people think, like, no, originally you said that old grognards are a problem.
I mean, it sounds as though a lot of this is stemming from just like, oh, the broad stereotypes we see on social media that, you know, it's the same group of people we always see that we just make like the butt of our jokes, that is just the whipping boy, the acceptable whipping boy is what it always is.
Yeah.
And the other part of this is just a frustration with these people that there's nothing they can do to stop them from playing these games.
Having fun. No.
Yeah. Archer, what is a grognard? It's a French word. I think it's actually grognard, but it means old soldier. And it's
originally it was from the Napoleonic Wars. It was the veterans who'd been with Napoleon over the whole campaign, but it basically means grumbly old soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I will say, as I've never sat down at an OSR table really in real life, but I have spent a lot of time at board game conventions, and I've played a lot of war games and very heavy economic Euro games, and the community who is into that tends to also be roughly similar to the same demographic, and I have never ever once been turned away from a table. Actually, that's a lie. The one time I have been turned away from a table, it was from another woman. It was not from an older white man.
Yeah.
In fact, every time I have walked into these conventions and these spaces, they have been very accommodating. They will trip over each other to teach me the rules. They are incredibly happy to have someone who is different from them at their table. In my experience, that's probably not universally true, but it has been for me.
Yeah, I mean,
you can look at the new TSR saga, or you can look at Varg, or was it the former Judges Guild people? Was it that were Confederates or something? I think that was Judges Guild. I don't want to get that wrong. But
Bledsoes.
Yes, the Bledsoes. So in isolation, you can see these people, right? But otherwise, I think, like Victor said, it's just that there's disagreement. My hypothesis is that the OSR doesn't self-police to the extent that these people would like, and you have to be a Varg to get to become persona non grata in OSR spaces, because the OSR actually practices tolerance of differences between people so long as they want to game. I think broad strokes, obviously, but
Yeah.
Yeah, and it used to be that grognard was kind of like a badge of honor. Like, you would say, like, yeah, I'm a grognard. I've been around for a while. But now it's almost like they're trying to equate it with Germans who followed a certain political party back in the 40s. And unfortunately, the context of the insult and everything kind of is losing its edge as well, because in the same way that they have overused that particular insult, I think the grognard thing is kind of starting to lose its punch too.
It's
like calling you a
okay,
chod.
boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, you want to get rid of the people that, let's be honest, basically started the OSR. It's the old school revival. It's the Renaissance. Who do you think originally made those clones? It wasn't 19-year-olds that were writing clones of first edition or BX or Zero E or whatever. It was the grognards. So you're basically complaining about the people that are the foundation of that particular side of the hobby. And I don't know, that seems very weird to me. Seems very, I don't know. Yeah.
They want to push old conservative white men out of gaming so that they'll go to their own space and do their own thing. And then everyone else can complain that they're not allowed in the new thing. And that the new thing's not inclusive enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never go full bark. The sad thing is I actually have picked up a copy of Varg's stuff for review purposes, just so I could see for myself if it was any good or not. And it's not the worst version of an OSR clone that I've ever seen in my whole life. I've certainly read a lot worse. It's just, you have to be careful when you read it, because it's like he has some very clear nationalist underpinnings in it that are sometimes not so thinly veiled.
Oh, yeah.
He's
also
the bronze men,
convicted murderer. So yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Varg Vikernes. Yeah, he's.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, just give you a quick recap. There was a black metal group, the first black metal group, called Mayhem. It was started by a guy named Euronymous. Later on, during their times, Varg Vikernes was another black metal musician who was started a band called Burzum. Well, eventually, Euronymous heard Varg, liked him, pulled him into the group, and so he was playing with Mayhem for a little while. Well, as it turns out, Euronymous kind of owed Varg a bunch of money and didn't want to pay Varg. And at some point, Varg got the notion that Euronymous was going to kill him rather than pay him. So Varg decided to be preemptive and killed Euronymous first.
Yep.
Okay.
And he served 20 years in Norwegian prison for it. Now he's out and living in France on a farm somewhere with his, I guess, 6 children.
Something absurd like that. Idiocracy, but for racists.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, he has really strong strong leanings towards white supremacy and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I apologize. I didn't mean to turn this into an educate Harmony about black metal murders stream, but thank you.
It's just that unfortunately he's sort of the bar that gets that everyone else gets kind of thrown against and compared and associated with.
Yeah, he's
Not
the extreme end.
Yeah.
If you ever feel the urge to murder someone, just burn down a church instead. Get it out of your system that way.
He did that too.
Oh.
Yeah. He I think he burned down Fantov Stave Church in Norway.
Yeah, that's a good rabbit hole for you to go down.
Yeah, and he was nearly done for gun running as well, somewhere. I think that
Yeah.
was in France, actually.
Yeah, they found him with a trunk full of machine guns.
Yeah. So you know there are occasionally people who are genuinely bad,
Yeah, but
but it's not
they
like
exist
they're
on every
welcomed
side.
and loved and accepted. You know.
Yeah,
But just
course.
showing you just how tolerance and acceptance kind of works. We do follow each other on Twitter. I don't know how that happened. It's just like he heard or he read something I wrote and he decided he liked it, and so he started following me. And just me being nice, I followed him back, and I just kind of try to stay on his good side. And
Yeah. Don't want to get murdered.
Look,
yeah, same here. He's in driving distance of me, so yeah, I'm not saying shit about Vogue.
T-shirt.
yeah,
Whatever it takes to get the follower count up, like go ahead. Like if you want to have Vars follow you,
exactly. It's
that's the price of fame.
it's the price of fame. Well, I mean, what can I say? Is like celebrities have all kinds of people who like them, good and bad. So it is what it is.
You can't control who your fans are.
No, you can't control who your fans are. It's kind of like Mario Puzo and Frank Sinatra.
If you're famous enough, some unhinged people will be into you.
Well, you didn't hear that those two got into a fist fight in a restaurant about The Godfather?
Yeah, no, we're not all 60 T-shirt. You don't know. You don't know fucking 1970s fucking Hollywood lore.
I am a historian.
Yeah,
T-shirt's about to start a channel called the Rat Pack Historian.
I mean, I like the Godfather, but yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Please.
yeah.
Got a kick in the head.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we're talking Godfather trivia, there was an actual mobster that acted in The Godfather, and he was just like an actual mobster, and he was a big fan. So the mob pulled some strings to get him in the movie.
Yeah. God, I know who that is too. He used to be a wrestler.
He
The
also
guy who
has a
played
story of meeting Pablo Escobar, which is really interesting.
is it Luca Brasi? Yeah. The guy who
No, it
played
was a
Luca
different
Brasi.
guy.
Oh, it's a different
Yeah,
guy?
he might have been a mobster too, but it was a different guy. He's like a small ball, I think. But
Anyway.
Thank you so much.
It did fun. This is why you come on these things, is because, you'll go into some really deep rabbit holes.
but
It's the Dave.
speaking about the whole Grognard thing, like I said, it comes down to disagreement. These people are just mad that overwhelmingly Grognards, they're against stuff like safety tools and whatnot, and they see that as a huge problem in the hobby. So I guess they want to do a panel on it.
Yeah.
I'm not going
Hey.
to talk about safety tools in there.
I mean, yeah.
I don't have a problem with the idea of them existing. I just
Oh,
don't
no.
feel like it needs to be like an automatic, let's staple this into every single book we make.
Sure.
And it
If-
should be
if-
optional.
Yeah.
If people want to have this around for their tables, that's fine. I don't feel like I necessarily need it at my table, but you do you.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what bothers me about it. Not that they exist. Like, if you want to use them, fine. But the emotional blackmail that if you don't want to use them, they basically you're automatically a bad person. Like, it's like, yeah, no, I don't need them. I just play with people that we trust each other. We kind of already know our limits. Like, I don't need safety tools. Oh, so you're a horrible person and you can't be trusted. Oh, okay, yeah, well, thanks.
It's a semantics thing because
Yeah.
the people who talk about safety tools will define it as any kind of conversation you have before a game.
Yeah,
Which,
it's a modern Bailey
you
tactic.
just-
Mhm.
Yeah, you just talk to your players. Like, I talk to my players and I'm like, these are some subjects that might be in the game. If you have a problem with anything, just talk to me about it. We'll figure something out. Let's trust each other. Let's be cool about it. And people say that's a safety tool, but every table I've ever been at had something like that.
Yeah.
Well, they use that
Like
as a tactic, like I said, a modern Bailey tactic. They use that to move the goalpost. Having a conversation is a safety tool. You do that, so you should be fine with the cards too. Like, no, I'm not. So
Yeah.
Imagine how all these grognards had games before safety tools. How did they even do it?
Well, they were obviously all horrible and filled with racism and sexual assault and all
yeah.
sorts of isms and bad stuff. Obviously, gaming in the 70s and 80s and 90s was just playing with your life. So,
Yeah,
They're blowing kids into the steam vents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
All
Didn't you?
those Midwestern hippies. Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
All the
monsters.
Yeah, all the satanic panic stuff. Didn't you ever hear about that? Where the games back then, it's like they actually killed players who who failed their saving throws and no.
That's why I include that in session 0. A disclaimer on that part.
Yeah.
No, go on. Sorry.
Do you consent to being ritually slaughtered when your character dies?
Also, safety tools don't even work because we all know that famous example with what's his name, Adam Coble, whatever. Like they use safety tools in that game, and he still got cancelled to this day.
Yeah.
So obviously they don't fucking work. So why would I use them?
Exactly. And Delver,
Tom Hanks for everything.
Delver, if you want a link for the channel, man, come on. I will send you one because this actually kind of involves you. You are an old white grognard, so
yeah,
you're perfect.
Please come on. I interact with that guy on Twitter all the time. I like that guy.
He's really cool. He was on last week.
Yeah. Oh, was he? I missed it.
Yeah, you missed it. Yeah, it was just me, him, and Grim. It was a great show.
Yeah.
See what you miss when you don't pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
I missed it too.
That's okay.
Disappointed.
Yeah. Well, I shot him a link, so maybe he'll show up. I hope so.
Exciting.
But anyway, kind of what I was gonna what I'm getting around to is a game where you probably do want to have some discussions and maybe some special safety tools in place.
It's better if you don't. No.
Well, I don't know about that. So anyway, yeah. What I'm talking about is the books I got in this week was this one. Yeah, this is Kinks and Cantrips by T.S. Michaels. It's for 5th edition. Obviously, this is a PDF. I have to be real careful
because for 5th edition.
Yeah,
I'm going to use my safe word then.
To help fill anyone in who's unfamiliar with it. This was something I had kind of shown to T-shirt as a bit of a joke, but then we started to go looking at it, and the more and more we looked at it, the more we started to like it, and then we both went buying it.
Well, okay, come on now, give it a little context. We both started to like it because it was kinky.
Yeah, no. I totally look. It was well written. They put a lot of thought and consideration into building custom classes, new spells.
Yeah, the layout was nice. And my particular version, I had coupons for premium hardcover and regular print hardcover, so I can actually finally show people the difference now who have never seen it. So first off, these are some chunky boys. Yeah, that's on the finger test. Yeah, that's a whole finger joint worth of thick. That's
not one,
thick.
but 2 copies.
The finger test is
everything from anal to zoophilia.
Yeah. Let me blow this up a little bit so you guys can see. All right. So the first thing you're looking at is one of these is a premium copy, one of these is not. So you can actually see what the difference is when you order these things from DriveThruRPG. It's almost impossible to tell the difference because the colors are so similar. The only way I was able to tell is by looking at the spines themselves. You'll see this one right here, a little hard to tell. The ink bleeds all the way to the edge of the paper. This is the premium copy. This is the one I'm going to hang on to for me to read at the table. This is the not premium copy, and you can see where the white bordering starts. And that's the only real way I was able to tell. Because otherwise, the page layouts and everything and the colors look pretty much the same between the two. So it's not bad. Anyway,
it's usually the interior ink and paperweight that gives it away.
Yeah. And hey, Delver.
What's up, everybody? I have a very limited window, but since you threw me the invite, I thought I'd show up and say hey.
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 Well, Harmony was dying to meet you.
I was.
Hello.
Hey, it's good
Please,
to meet you.
yes, and we do interact on Twitter a lot. And I said last week, and I'll say this week, Twitter for old school tabletop RPGs, as long as you cultivate what you do on Twitter and you don't follow the clickbait and wind up with 8 million political screech fests and social culture comp screech fests in your feed, it's fine. It's fine, and I have found it to be a pretty cool place. In fact, everybody here and a whole raft of other people that I've met, creative types, have all been on Twitter, and it's been fine. It's been fine. I just, oh, Trump said this. Whoa, oh my God, Joe Biden did that. I just don't click on it. In fact, I mute those conversations, even when people that I know and like start those conversations. I'm like, sorry, I don't want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Consequently, all Twitter shows me is you guys talking about RPG stuff. And that's what I wanted.
I agree with that.
You asked for an old white grognard, and my God, you couldn't have got older and whiter than me. So
that's why I invited you, because I figure if they're crapping on old white grognards, we had to get our representation up here.
Well, we have to put you to the test, though. Is mayonnaise too spicy?
That depends. That depends.
Japanese mayonnaise, maybe.
Exotic stuff from the Asian aisle at the local grocery store. Because you get some curry or some of that devil chili pepper in there, and that'll give you a zing. I am not from the Midwest. I am from the South, so we actually do spicy food down here.
My favorite part of this is how he invited you right before bringing on the kink book. So welcome, Dungeon Delver. Surprise, we're talking about kink.
Go on.
I agree with you, though. You can curate Twitter pretty well if you know what you're doing. Mine is curated pretty much towards tabletop stuff, and that's why when people recently were trying to play some Guild of Association with me, where it's like, "Oh, didn't you see what these people that you follow posted?" I'm like, "No, I didn't. I just see tabletop stuff. I don't see political stuff and all that shit." So
I promise you that if you completely divorced the idea of tabletop role-playing games from myself and probably 2/3, maybe 3/5 of the people that I think are just really awesome on Twitter and just said, I'm going to poke you both with a stick and throw you in a cage and make you yell politics at each other, we would be blood enemies by the end of the match. But I don't care. I don't care about that. I love tabletop role-playing games of the old school variety, and I love talking about them, and I really enjoy the company of people who enjoy that. I have now I've got 11 people in my Monday night first edition AD&D game. And we got people from all the way across the political spectrum. And you know what? They know when they click on that Discord server, they're there to do one thing. They're there to play and enjoy first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Have I had to smack my ruler on the desk once or twice? Yeah. But they understand. They get it.
Keep that all at the door.
Yeah. Leave it all at the door. Everybody talks about being gatekeeping. You know what? I am a proud gatekeeper. Here's the gate. Do you want to play classic tabletop role-playing games? Then come on in. Do you want to argue about politics? Do you want to do you think all tabletop RPGs are political and we're gonna we're gonna work through traumas in this? No, I'm sorry, not here. Not here.
The difference between a doorman and a gatekeeper.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, so I if you want to give me a soft title, then I'm a doorman.
Yeah.
It's like, look how I'm dressed. I couldn't get into a decent club in Central Florida dressed like this, right? Obviously.
Whoa, wait. You're in Central Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Uh-oh.
Do you get Gods and Monsters?
I'm sorry. No, I don't.
Oh my God, you got to go to Gods and okay, all right. Listen, I am doing. I'm going to talk to the managers. I'm good friends with the owners. I'm going to do stuff for Free RPG Day this year. I didn't this past year. You're welcome to come and game with me, Harmony.
I will. I actually will. I just had a lot of free time open up. So
hashtag meetup. Anyway, so yeah, that's it, man. You know, I'm done with Culture Conf. All right.
Yes.
It doesn't go anywhere good. It doesn't go anywhere good. And you know, I see stuff. You know, when I see stuff coming out, and I don't care who it's from, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told you, you know, gently that I've smacked the ruler on the desk every now and again. People on my end of the political spectrum, people on the opposite end of the political spectrum from me, when I've done that, I have literally said, look, chill the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to hear that. We have 3 hours to play tonight. And we already because we're gamers, right? I mean, when you say, hey, we're going to play D&D for 3 hours, what you mean is you're going to play D&D for 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then there's 45 minutes scattered through the night of, you know, jokes and stuff like that. So,
of course,
limited amount of time. And if we're going to enjoy fellowship here, then let's enjoy fellowship here. Let's not do that. You know, let's not have the hate and the division and all that, because there's only one person that serves, and that's Wizards of the Coast Hasbro. And I have
the source of all evil.
Yes, exactly. You know, it's like Gandalf said in the Lord of the Rings: the enemy would be happy to see us at each other's throat.
Very much so.
I'm just happy because I just made a friend.
So. Absolutely.
Friendo.
So speaking of limited time and smacking with rulers t-shirt, we were looking at a book about kink, weren't we?
Yes, we were. Okay.
Do you like that skillful segue there?
There you go. I will try to go through some sections of this without hopefully getting thrown off of YouTube. Suffice to say, I just want to be clear right up front. In talking about this, I'm not trying to poke fun at or you know, draw negative attention to any of the things that are represented in the book, The Kinks. I understand everybody has them. Everybody's are different. And usually to other people, everyone else's kinks are strange, weird, or just downright gross.
How dare you like hand holding?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I enjoy a nice pair of feet, you know, and Grim thinks that's disgusting. And I mean, and that's fine.
But do they have to be severed t-shirt? Come on.
No. Preferably not. But I mean, you know,
sitting is worse.
Yeah,
turning you on.
Rulers? No.
Nice.
I don't really have a spank fetish, but I don't know.
I appreciated that one.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Anyway,
so what's in the book then?
All right. So what's in the book
besides filth?
Well, besides filth, first off, like I said, it's a chunky book. It's like all the way up to the index. It's 246 pages. So it's a lot of bang for your buck. No pun intended. It does have an entire. It has a cosmology. It does have a history, a fantasy setting, and everything to go along with it. So this doesn't exist in a vacuum. It has a gazetteer. So obviously they're planning on, you know, bringing more stuff out for this. And it's going to be good. It has a pretty good little forward section on it. Let me bring it back up.
Now, I was just going to say, I am on limited time. How would you say it stacks up to the Book of Erotic Fantasy, or have you seen that one?
Oh, I own it. It's better.
Okay.
It's better because it actually explores the kink angles. It makes more use of them. And there are some pretty good little discussions on the various kinks. In fact, all the way in the back of the book, let me see if I can scroll to it without getting in trouble. Shoop.
We do have to be careful with this one.
We really do have to be careful with this one, because this one will get me in trouble. You'll see here, there's an author's notes, and on this, he lists all of the different kinks that he talks about in this book that are brought up for play. I mean, it's just latex, wax play, foot fetishism, scent, queening, day collars. I mean, some of these I hadn't heard of before, obviously. Objectification, Benoit
And you call
balls.
yourself a pervert.
Yeah.
I'm a pervert, not a sicko.
That is not all the kinks. I've been on FetLife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Some things you people
that
wouldn't
list seems
believe.
limited almost.
Well, yeah, and obviously this does not cover.
Speeches. just
Yeah.
just on a whole new framework.
Yeah, this does not cover every single kink that exists. My particular kink is not on this list, for one thing, and I'm not going to say what it is, but it does not involve crap, which coprophilia is not on this list either. Although piss play apparently did make it. So
Yeah, I saw Golden Shower.
So you're in luck.
yeah, somebody is. You're in.
Yes, Dave, be glad you have your headphones in.
Yes.
Excuse me, is that pony play?
Actually, yes, there is pony play.
That's what I thought I saw. Just
Hold on, let me.
That's
Since
not
you're
a kink
interested-
in a world with centaurs. That's just regular.
Oh no, you don't understand. You see, because certain paladins in this book can use their friends as ponies.
I didn't
Oh,
want to know
fair
about that. Thank you. I missed 5 minutes ago, and that was not in my head. What a terrible way to have eyes.
Well,
I
they,
wonder how the centaurs feel about pony play.
Too busy having fun with the dildocorns.
Well, if a unicorn pisses on you, does it count as like a healing potion or something? Like, does it like?
there,
Oh, they
there,
drink
More
Good
HP?
luck.
there is actually a urine or lactation based healing thing. As
You
we-
got
we-
to me
Healing
because
potion tits, nice.
yeah.
I started the conversation last week, aren't you? This
God, this is the
Back.
greatest. This is the greatest third-party book ever.
I'm trying to imagine the table that this would be right for.
I
Graham, I think it's yours.
not.
Well, that does lead to a really interesting thing. I would really love for Grim to get a copy of this and to start using it on his particular stream, because I think his D&D players will love it. It'll certainly add a lot to it.
I'm just trying to imagine trying to sell this book to the DM at my 5e group and just like be like, hey, can I take some custom spells?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The book is originally designed to be like a healthy exploration of kink. So how would you use it if you're not wanting to do that kind of a game at your table? Okay. It would be easy to say, okay, look, this is a character I'm running who likes this. This is not my fetish. This is not my kink. This is my character's kink, and I'm just playing the character, and so the character's going to use the rules. So,
Look, I just wouldn't.
I just wouldn't.
I
No.
just wouldn't.
No.
Okay, I can see myself using this.
okay.
If I were in a relationship with someone and we were doing like a one-on-one game, that would be great. I would totally use this.
Well, okay. Let me change your mind.
Okay.
Okay. So, like, I have it up here on the Way of the Heel Breaker monk. Okay. This is a monk that wears high heels
Yeah.
and kicks your ass in them.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it.
What in the hell?
Sorry, I had to intervene. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Yeah. Well, okay. And as it says, the heel breakers, they wear high heels. And as you can see here, the picture is, the monk is wearing these really big studded high heels that look like they could hurt you if she kicked you with them. And apparently they can use them to kick you, drop you on the floor, and stomp on you and stuff. And obviously the relation...
Mummy.
Yeah, well, the relation is foot fetishism, and the author even talks about it here. But just as a just as a cool martial art, imagine this. You have this cool monk who just walks around in high heels and she whoops everyone's ass, but she's got abilities like bring to heal. Like after you hit with one of the attacks granted by your flurry of blows, you can have the target creature make a dexterity saving throw or be dropped prone.
So it's like a Bayonetta character.
Yeah.
I think that already exists in the there's already a subclass that does that.
I mean,
I'm sure
the
yes.
game to be
things,
stupid.
but-
I'm sure. I mean,
Shh, but let me finish.
Okay.
In addition, as a bonus action, you make a contested charisma intimidation check, and if you succeed, that creature becomes prone and frightened.
no.
So now you have an extra level of stuff you can do with it. It adds some fun to it. There's also a mechanic in this that is called pain and pleasure. It's a set of rules that governs other mechanics, like it can add extra damage to your attacks, or it can cause other effects to go off. It's a whole system that's built into this game, and it's introduced in this game, and you can add it in for your regular sessions. Obviously, if you want to use the stuff out of here, you're going to have to use it because a lot of the classes use the pain and pleasure scale. But like the suffering stomp is after you hit a prone creature with an unarmed attack using your feet, you can add a pain roll or another pain point to the creature that was hit. And make a single unarmed attack with your feet against a prone creature. If you hit, the attack deals a d6 additional bludgeoning damage for every pain point the target currently has. So that means your monk, if she's whooping someone's ass enough, she could stomp something really big down with her feet.
So you could do that without the kink angle if you wanted. It will probably work for characters with hooves as well, like some tieflings, Satixis in Iron Kingdoms, things like that. There's a great high heel fight in Armor of God with Jackie Chan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where
I
he
know what you mean.
Yeah, you know the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's worth it for inspiration.
Or just imagine this is an NPC, like an NPC succubus on her hooves, and she's kicking the party's ass with this.
Yeah. So, if I was running a serious campaign, not a porn star campaign, you could still use some of this if you set it in the underworld of a city, like around thieves and whores and brigands and stuff. You could probably bring a lot of it into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does seem miserable, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's already in my drive-through RPG cart. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't need a book on kinks. I'm Dutch. I'm an expert. It's all in my head, baby.
I don't know. I mean, speaking for myself, I mean, I guess academically it's kind of interesting, but I'm really, I told a new prospective player this who was asking about, that kind of content in the game. And I said, look, I'm a Fate of Black DM, like you say, and I get it. There's combat stuff. This is not just about, if there's any girls there, I want to do them.
Exactly.
But I get that, but I don't really. I mean, I'm not going to church lady on you. It's interesting to discuss. Would I use it in a game? No, I don't really think so.
It depends. Okay, I'll show you one that is worth it. Actually, I thought the last one was too. But there's a barbarian type who actually grows, and it's it's part of that whole giant fetishism stuff. Yeah.
Size play.
Yeah.
Can I play a Vor halfling?
I think I don't remember.
Dark Souls halfling?
I don't remember if Vor is actually discussed in this.
I saw Vor, I think.
I have to dip in like 5 minutes to go pick up Girl Scout cookies. I'm not lying, for my daughter to sell.
Sounds horrible.
That sounds wholesome.
Yeah. Why don't you get a copy of this? No, don't.
No.
I'm just kidding. God, you two, don't kill me. Okay. The I can't show pictures because there's nudity. The Path of the Titan Barbarian. They grow in size while they're raging. Who wouldn't want that? I mean, barbarians are already badass. But imagine, you actually get so big that you can do trampling damage. So you can move through the space of any creature that is of a smaller size than yours as an action, move through their space, and after completing the movement, you may have all creatures whose space you move through make a strength saving throw. On a failure, they take 4d6 plus your strength modifier and bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone.
Wait,
Depends
Yeah.
on
sounds awesome. Is this a kink?
Because
players, I think.
macrophilia, voreophilia.
Wait.
Micro
So
and macro.
he just gets like his body gets big, right? We're not talking about like a barbarian with a huge rage. Okay.
The barbarian literally grows in size. They
didn't know
turn
that
into
was a thing.
giants.
I thought that was just like a thing that. Okay.
No, it's a thing. So
Okay.
your barbarian, your Titan barbarian gets huge, walks through the battlefield and stomps on everything in its path.
Sure, for certain settings that could work. It kind of implies a kind of very high magic setting, a little bit of a silly setting. But I mean, if you have a setting like that, sure, you could like incorporate that, I suppose.
The other sides of it too is it has let's say Microvore is the 10th level ability where you can actually swallow a grappled creature that is medium size or smaller, or at least 2 sizes smaller than you. So
See you, Delver.
Yeah, I got to jet, guys. Have a
All
lot
right.
of fun.
Later.
Thanks for the
Thanks,
invite.
bye.
Enjoy the
Oh,
cookie.
Bye, Delver.
everybody. Peace.
Take care, man. But at 14th level, your size increases to huge. Your weight becomes 1,000 pounds. You get +4 on your strength ability score. This can cause your strength to exceed 24. You add 5 feet to your melee range. You deal 2d8 bonus bludgeoning damage when you hit with an attack. You become immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical sources. Immune. You make dexterity saving throws with disadvantage, and your speed is reduced by 5 feet. But yeah, I mean, just imagine, your barbarian turns huge and starts just beating the crap out of everybody and stomping on them and eating them. Like,
I'm learning so much.
D5 thumb.
yeah, basically.
Is this the book that had the symbiotic ooze character thing?
Yeah, I should probably get to
Steingirls?
I should probably talk about the races. It does have new races as well as new classes and class options. Let me get down there and make sure that it's okay to look at. I think these are probably okay. Yeah, these look pretty safe-ish. Yeah. Nobody wants to. All right. Sorry, it's not like I could use a truncated version of this or anything. But yeah, this is the Cubeling. Yeah, they're like slime girls or slime boys or whatever. They have their abilities. They have amorphous sizes, speeds. They have viscous skin, elastic reach, expansive explosion. They're pretty cool. I wish Greg was here because they actually have fur folk. And what's neat about the fur folk is they have predaceous and quarry fur folk, whether you want to be, like predator or prey. What's cool about these is they have varying ability scores, and they have like a list of abilities you can pick from to build your it's a boy to build your fur, if that's your thing, But like like you want to play your Minotaur or whatever, and you don't like the one out of the book, you could always use the fur folk template and build one. And it has options for mixing them up, so you could always do something weird like, my dad was like half Minotaur and my mom was like, Mind Flayer, so you have tentacles and horns. I don't know.
Speaking of pervert, sup, Crafty Matt.
Oh, Crafty Matt. They have something called the Mythkin, which are pretty cool because these are basically like Oni types or angelic or whatever. These are basically a replacement for tieflings, and they're kind of better in some ways because they have like super abilities like legendary hide, or they're awe-inspiring, or they have rebirth, which is pretty legit awesome. Like after you're reduced to 0 hit points at the beginning of your turn, you may spend 1 or more of your hit dice and regain hit points equal to your total rolled, springing to your feet rather than making a death saving throw. And you may not use this effect again until you've completed a long rest.
So make dying even harder in 5e. Cool.
Yeah, basically. But like if you wanted to make like a Percy Jackson type character, you could do it from this. Or anything that's not covered in the basic books. And like this is an Oni, from Japanese mythology right here. So it's got stuff that's worth it. This is a Zykubus. This is the actual replacement for the Tiefling in their book. It says they're much like Tieflings. They retain traits of some of their fiendish ancestors, but their talents are more adept at tempting and seducing. So this is more like kind of like the classic what people would really like their tieflings to be, like succubi, like, because they're like born of temptation. They have wings and gazes and whispered nothings and exploit weaknesses and stuff like that. They have lineages like Alpha and Omega. They have unified creatures for, like, let's say if you wanted to make a group of characters that are bonded in some way. But it has good stuff in it. It's not just a trash book. It's not like a throwaway book. There's good things in it. There's a setting. There's new races. There's new classes. There's quite a lot of new spells. There's new weapons and things. And there's a very nice bestiary that's got some really cool stuff in it.
It's 250 pages, so they didn't just slapdash something together and kind of throw it out at people. No, this does have a lot of work and effort that has gone into it.
Yeah, it's not a little book and it's not a trash book. But, that's the thing. It's even the old book. God, what was it, Grim? I forgot what it was called already.
Book of Erotic Fantasy?
Yeah, the Book of Erotic Fantasy. That wasn't necessarily a trash throwaway book. It just was not quite what everybody was hoping for. It was a lot of flash and not as much substance, in my opinion. Because we were expecting something that was a little bit more overt.
The early adult books that I did had to be framed as humor, which was annoying. So it's nice to see that things have opened up a bit.
Yeah, and this book actually leans more into the kinky stuff and gives you kind of like more of what you wanted. As far as playing it with a group, I would say know your audience. Obviously, you're not going to bring this to your friendly local game store for open game night.
Says you.
Well, I mean, you're in Holland, so who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sure there are still erotic chat RP things going on.
Oh yeah,
on Discord or somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It would be appropriate for Tabletopless. I think it'd be like 100%. Not only would it be appropriate, it would be just like I think they would eat this up.
Honestly, they should have asked you to playtest it.
I honestly think so. Yeah.
They probably don't know we exist.
Well, maybe they'll know now.
Was it the Book of Erotic Fantasy that like lost the D20 license and had to like put stickers over the D20 logo?
Yeah, that's what made them change the licensing rules.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So some early dickery from Wizards there. Some historic dickery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always liked the Book of Erotic Fantasy, but it always seemed like it was more like it was a good idea that kind of had sort of lukewarm implementation. Like it wanted to be more than what it was.
So the funny thing is, like back then, I had like no idea that like third-party publishing was a thing. I thought it was all like official. So like I kept hearing about the Book of Erotic Fantasy, and I was like, oh, so the people that made D&D also released this. Cool. Like I had like no idea that it was like some third-party thing. It was kind of funny.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah,
oh, go on.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine finding a group to play this with, though. It seems very uncomfortable for most groups, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a prude.
Like I said, know your audience
Yeah.
is the main thing, and it does have suggestions for how to incorporate it into your game at the front. And of course, it also talks about safety tools and everything else, but it does kind of stress that the whole thing is based on compromise and discussion and stuff. It's
Well, even on tabletop lists, when it comes to the role-played scenes between like NPCs and characters, we fade to black mostly. The tips and the adult performance is kind of somewhat separate. It's just that the world that we play in doesn't ignore sexuality and romance and everything.
Mm-hmm. Here's another thing that they also include is they do have new backgrounds, and some of them are kink based, like the meat marketeer. You could actually play like a slaver type. Oh no, problematic. But there's the curious.
It's something that not even Watsy or Paizo would be willing to put in a book now.
True. Yeah. Well, there's the curious explorer. I mean, very, very wide open type. There's a sadistic artist, which is
the thing
basically
that
a torturer.
kind of annoys me. The thing that kind of annoys me is that they got away with this without too much blowback, and they were able to crowdfund, weren't they, without any problem?
Yeah, Kickstartered.
Yeah, bloody annoying.
Yeah. Well, we all know there's what's the word? For some reason, my English is failing me. I can only think of it in Dutch. But like when they meet, when they measure in like two ways, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm drunk right now, so you know what I mean.
Discrimination.
Yeah.
Can I ask an unrelated question?
You can.
Victor, why did
Yeah.
someone in chat just say you'll turn schizophrenic for me? What does that mean? Like, I know
don't
what
know.
schizophrenic
He's
means,
he's another
but is the
Dutchman. Don't pay
context the
attention.
same? Okay.
He's another Dutchman. Don't pay attention to him. He's,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if I was missing context on that.
Don't pay attention to my countrymen.
Gotcha.
They're weird.
All right.
Well,
Must be some Dutch inside joke.
Maybe.
Yeah.
well, one thing I will say about this, the backgrounds that are offered in this do seem to be more centered around exploration or learning things. I mean, you got the curious explorer, you've got the dungeoneer, which also wants to go exploring stuff. You've got the teratologist, which is basically this guy explores monsters. Maidservant. Well, it is what it is. It's a guy.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't look like a girl.
No, it's a guy. Court dancer,
I
though.
know twinks when I see him. I mean,
Yeah,
what?
it's a twink. Yeah. But court dancer, that kind of works. It's stuff that does kind of emphasize exploration and learning and things like that. And that's something else I kind of liked about it is a lot of the backgrounds in the regular book are just kind of like, boom, there's your background. Soldier, scientist, whatever. I mean, it's like these actually seem to have more of a let's go do something, let's go check this out, let's go explore. And just being somebody who comes from sandbox gaming, sometimes it can get kind of hard to make players want to go and do stuff. They get this, I don't know why they get this urge to sit around town and try to make money or go on the entire shopping trip expeditions and stuff. It makes me want to, crawl into a small hole and oh, never mind. I hate that stuff. Seriously, does anybody like shopping RP?
Depends.
I mean, gives you an opportunity to hook them into stuff, have their purses stolen. If they invest in a town and build businesses there, then they've got something you can take away from them or threaten to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like the bad guys sit around twiddling their thumbs while they're busy.
True.
It depends. If you're just shopping for food, okay, that's kind of boring. If you're like, finding a black market arms dealer to get like some awesome guns, and you can like get to up here that whole scene where he opens like the secret door and there's like the white room with all the guns on the walls, and some John Wick shit. Like that's cool, but yeah.
Speaking of getting food and stuff like that, I did start watching something this week that is related. That I actually like so much that I think I'd like to actually build rules around it. And I've been wanting to do this for a while. I just don't know where to start. But Dungeon Delicious, or Delicious in Dungeon, is on Netflix. And I think they're like up to 2 seasons now. And I like it. It's fun. It's a cool idea. These guys are actually going through the dungeon, and because they can't afford to keep leaving the dungeon and getting rations and everything else, they're literally having to survive by eating the monsters. But the way that it approaches it and the way that it presents it in the anime is really fun, and it's really cool. It's one of the neatest series I've seen, aside from campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Yeah, that's the actual name of it. Yeah, they cook slimes. Yeah, they cook slimes. They show you what you can do with slimes. And what's cool about that anime is it gives me so many ideas for what you can do with monsters that it kind of creates a new economy in a game for what you can do with dead monsters. I mean, what do you do with a dead carrion crawler? Well, I mean, have you tried skinning it and, selling the hide off or something? Or, using the meat? Or, well, you probably wouldn't want to eat carrion crawler because it's, it eats dead stuff. But I mean, just as an example.
I use a book for that. I know just the book for that. There's a... Yeah, it's for 5e, but there's a book called Harmon's Harvesting Handbook. I think that's what it is. It might be
Sweet.
Hammond or something. Hammond's Harvesting Handbook. Yeah, it does a lot like that. I use that. I always have that pulled up when I'm running now. But, yeah,
I gotta get that.
Well, don't forget there was also the waifu handbook.
That's coming. I'm waiting till it gets here. Don't worry, Ironcaster. We'll definitely talk about that one when it gets here. I think they finally decided that they're going to publish because they ran into a problem with the rules changes or something. And then they decided, well, rather than just wait for the rules to adjust and settle and then make everybody wait, we're just going to go ahead and publish what we got and update as we need to. Crafty Matt, no, you don't eat rust monsters. You make them into pets.
You make them into
Especially if
pets
you're a
in
wizard.
4th edition because you can feed them crap magic items and they shit out residuum. But
See, that's awesome.
I believe there is a 5e spell that lets you summon a star spawn that you can use to make calamari.
Fair enough.
Sweet. But yeah, I like that as an idea. I like to get more economy out of the monster. And the first time I ever saw that ever done was in Starfinder, of all books. Because in Starfinder, you're fighting space aliens and stuff a lot of times, and creatures on other worlds and stuff. So them having a valuable treasure that is, quantifiable is a little harder to grasp from a space setting. So those mad geniuses over at Paizo, what they did is they said that the actual treasure that the monster carries is in the form of certain parts of the monsters that can be sold for valuable, money. So I like stuff like that because it brings up the world building. It makes the world building better, and it helps bring in some more immersion. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nerding out into a whole tangent here, and y'all are just looking at me like, T-shirt, just shut up, time's up.
No, I agree with you.
We do that anyway.
I love that. Like, that's why I'm saying there's a really good supplement on, it's either DM's Guild or Drive Through RPG, I don't remember which, called Hammond's Harvesting Handbook. My players love it. Like, I just have them make like a survival check when they kill a monster, and like, all right, yeah, you can rip off its wings and it says what it can be made into. And it's just really, really nice. It saves me so much time, and all the monsters are worth something now, aside from like XP.
See, what I would like to do at some point is have some kind of a resource book like that where it literally lists what all the value of a monster is, and have a settlement-based building game where the players are in charge of literally, starting from nothing with nothing, and from there they have to literally build their own little settlement, civilization, etc., by harvesting whatever they can find out in nature. Because I like the survival aspects. It always kind of seemed boring to me. That's like, yeah, your players just drop into an already established setting where, it's already ancient, etc., etc. Because then it kind of feels like it's used up.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I mean, I don't know.
Colonizer.
But you're not a colonizer if you're indigenous.
I'm like looking at Crafty Matt's comments in the chat, like thinking about what different things would taste like.
Yeah, exactly.
Got some good questions there.
Well,
Bear from the neck down.
Yes, the Dave, you're a game designer. You will chew on the suggestion and see if yes, you absolutely should. And by the way, yeah, you should get the Dave stuff. Dave, post up or shoot me your link to your stuff in X, so I can post it up for you, because I've used your stuff. Say, yeah, I have a new project to work on. Yeah, like I don't already have enough.
Yes.
Projects, what are those?
Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting has harvesting rules. Cool. See, I like stuff like this.
We're finding all sorts of new books now.
Yeah. I'm glad I wasn't the only one to think of this kind of thing. Okay. Oh, it's a DM's Guild product. Ah! Is that it? Hammond's Harvesting Handbook?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh.
I can show it a little bit if we want, but I think we're like out of time. So,
Well,
but
if you want to show a little bit of it, that's fine.
all right.
I'm curious now.
All right. I got you. Okay. I don't know how to present on StreamYard.
Okay.
All right. Next time.
Okay. I was gonna say bringing up the all you gotta do is bring up the PDF, and then you do the present at the bottom.
Okay. It's on. Oh my God.
Exactly, Dave. That's why we need to make an OSR version.
Window.
Dirty Men's Guild.
Don't
Dirty
tab
Men's
shame
Guild.
me.
That's it.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah, I found it. Okay, just
Yay.
don't tab shame me. All right.
Drifters Game Workshop.
I
Yeah,
do like with the cover there. He's like this dwarf in a nice wool sweater.
Yeah, it's really nice. It has rules for it, and then it goes through like the entire monster manual. Like you got DCs for everything, descriptions of it, and you can use it to craft things. And some of them they have this is a really long book, by the way, but they have near the end. Oh no, now it's loading. Awkward. All right, but they have custom magic items you can craft with stuff. But it has everything in it. I mean,
That's sweet.
I love this book. I use it all the time. I always have it up while I'm running, just because I know my players are going to ask to harvest something that they kill every time.
My players never do.
Oh, I guess
This will make
probably
it-
they asked once, and I was like, "Yeah, I definitely roll." And I brought this up, and then they know they can get stuff from it, so now they always do.
Yeah.
But I swear by this book. I use this for every campaign.
The only problem I run into with this kind of thing is the same as with spell material components. It's such a ball ache to keep track of everything.
I use a handout or something that everybody can edit, and I also have my own crafting system that I use. That never mind.
Ooh, Harmony. You need to publish.
So yeah, I would allow players to harvest monster parts, but I would require them to have actual some knowledge of it. Because if I kill an animal, okay, I'm like looking at it, like I have no idea what's like worth anything. Like maybe it's hide or it's bones, but I'm not gonna like pinpoint like some organ. It's like, oh well, if I extract that, that's like really valuable to alchemists. Like no, you would actually you would actually have to know that that's the case. So I would probably require like having a high rank in some sort of skill.
Yeah, I normally do. I require like alchemy tools proficiency or whatever the equivalent is to get like poisons or things like that.
Cool.
But yeah, it has a lot of good suggestions. I don't use everything from it as like law, but
Well, it looks like there's also a herbalism book as well from the same.
Yeah. I think I've
Talmud
seen that. I
Herbalism
haven't.
Handbook?
I don't have that. Yeah, I don't have
Nice.
that one. I can't speak to it, but it's a high quality book.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. And Victor, I was just thinking about something for you. You're working on a Western game, right?
I'm working on a Western addition to Modern Necessities. Yes.
Okay, I have an idea for you. Most people don't remember this, but Eli Whitney is the guy who actually invented interchangeable gun parts back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember that scene from Good, Bad, and the Ugly where Tuco walks into that store and he Think
kind of a gun crafting system. You're saying?
Yeah.
I could probably figure something out. It would have to probably be fairly simplified because old school essentials. I don't like getting too complex with that because that kind of like goes against the spirit of the game, in my opinion. But I could probably figure something out. I do already have like a optional system for weapon conditions and stuff too. So,
well, there you go. So there we go. This is actually a good stream, I guess, because we got a lot here at the end. Well, but we are out of time. Unless anybody has anything else you want to bring up?
No.
No? Okay.
I have fun.
Running
Thanks for having me
Drive
back.
tomorrow.
You what?
Me or him?
Great.
Oh, me. I think I'm running Convict to Drive tomorrow, so come and watch that on Grim Streams. And
Victor
we'll play.
Drive.
Yes.
Ironcaster, didn't you want to play that?
I did, but that's also the same day as my 5e game, so it's a little conflicting schedule.
When something opens up, we can do it again. But,
right.
You can at least watch the stream and see how it plays.
I can give a sneak peek to something I'm working on.
Ooh, sweet. Let's see it. Oh, Dark 30. Oh, wow.
Dog 30. It's my take on kind of like a white box modern game, and it's coming along. Got to do some stuff, but it's getting there. So people can look forward to that if they want.
That's gonna be
like
cool.
I said, it's my take on white box, but I'm calling it ammo box because but that's funny. I actually made a logo for it, which you can see here. So, yep. So that's what I'm working on.
Good idea. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and hope you have a good weekend for the rest of your weekend, and we will see you guys on Tuesday, where me and Castor will likely have something fun.
It'll be a hell of a good time.
I may be there. I don't know yet.
Oh, good. Okay. Oh,
I'll
yeah.
be back around more here coming up.
Okay. Well, I know. I mean, real life is the thing. So.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me back.
You're always welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, everybody out there in YouTube land, hey, thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you later.
Yep. Bye, everyone.
On behalf of the staff of the Independent California Motel, I wish you all sweet dreams.
supply of life. How do you look out the supply of life?